Hey everybody, and welcome to AniBreak, the show. We just talk about the week's topics in anime, manga, and video games. My name's Jason. This week we have news from Sailor Moon, news of Studio Ghibli. That's actually pretty cool. Plus, there's a poll that was online about people picking the best anime to watch on their day off. So we'll get to that a little bit later on. Plus some news about Dragon Ball Z and news from Guillermo Del Toro, which we'll get to in a little bit. But first, let's talk about Sailor Moon. They had the huge panel at Anime Expo, which we talked about the Viz's massive license acquisition of all the old school Sailor Moon stuff, including stuff that never made its way to the United States in either in DVD form or broadcast on TV. So they're going to redo all of them uncut, which required apparently a whole new English cast, which they announced at AX. And I talked about last week how there's probably going to be a divide between old school and new school. It's going to happen. It always does. But what's nice about this, at least from the Viz point of view, is that they can at least try to get some more of the younger viewers involved. They've probably only heard about Sailor Moon through proxy, and they wouldn't be probably a part of this whole, the original dub was better kind of thing. So to try to help out with that, Viz has been slowly releasing out some English clips online, and this one is actually showcasing when Luna appears. So let's check this out and judge for ourselves if this new dub is going to be held up to our standards. So yeah, that's just a taste of what to expect. I know the first thing that popped into my head when I first watched that was Luna no longer sounds like an old British woman, which I thought was actually kind of charming for the character. But oh well. I will say Michelle Ruff does a fair job of bringing the character to life again, and I do have to say Stephanie Sheh, so far so good. Yeah, I mean, I like it so far. It's a little, I really can't say more mature, but at least the pitch level is just a little lower than the original dub, which actually I'm perfectly fine with. I do know that we'll probably get a lot more trailers coming up and English dub clips as we get closer to the release of the first box set. Now, yes, you can watch some of these already on Hulu, thanks to Viz's Neon Alley, and but the first season, 23 episodes, will be available on November 11th in Blu-ray. There are a couple things you can get with it for this DVD box set. The limited edition will feature the 6 discs, a chipboard box with space for the Part 2 Blu-ray DVD set. That's kind of nice there. There will be a collectible booklet that has a bunch of art and character profiles in there. Some of the on-disc extras will include an interactive art gallery, behind-the-scenes dub recording, the announcement panel, which I'm guessing what happened at AX, and fan reaction. If you order it through Right Stuff, you will also receive what you see on the right side of your screen, a collectible coin that comes with just the limited edition, not the regular edition. Yeah, so you can watch some of this over on Hulu, thanks to Viz's Neon Alley, like I said, and the entire first season of 23 episodes, uncut, will be available on DVD November 11th. But that's not all the Sailor Moon news we have. If you are actually hoping more for, let's have a return of the old school dub cast, you won't get it per se, but there is something out there for you. The original voice director of DIC's dub, the original dub of Sailor Moon, actually penned a tell-all book about the process of turning the English version of the anime to life. It's titled Sailor Moon Reflections. Basically describes the quote-unquote attention to detail that went into making the English version of Sailor Moon the standard by which all English translations of foreign animations are judged. If you were, like I said, if you were a fan of the original dub, and you're just even a lover just of anime in general, you probably want to come check, probably pre-order this online. It will be available online in softcover and hardcover modes, or you can even just pay $5 and get the ebook version. So that's going to be happening up very soon. And last but not least, in terms of the Sailor Moon news, it looks like there is going to be an art showcase of Sailor Moon. I can't say memorabilia, but you're gonna have a ton of local artists actually checking out Meltdown Comics, the Nerdist showroom in Meltdown Comics, in August 16th to 23rd, to check out an art gallery called Meatball Head, a celebration of 20 years of Sailor Moon. The show will feature art pieces from dozens of artists and animators, many of whom are veterans in the entertainment industry. There's so many people. I cut off the long list of the featured artists on the picture because you won't be able to read it. It's such small font. So basically, a lot of famous artists are giving their homage to Sailor Moon in their own art style at this event. It's going to be at the Nerdist showroom in Meltdown Comics over in LA, going from August 16th. Well, it launches on the 16th, and the exhibition goes through August 23rd. So you have plenty of time to go check that out. Moving on real quick for you Dragon Ball Z fans. I know Funimation's really pushing their English dub and, of course, the US release of the Battle of Gods movie. But it looks like we're not quite done just yet. It was announced in the September issue of Shueisha's V-Jump magazine that a brand new Dragon Ball Z movie will open during Golden Week next spring. The mangaka of the original Dragon Ball series, Akira Toriyama, is personally credited, with working on the new movie that the entire universe eagerly awaits. So they say. Looks like they continued the pattern with these new movies, that instead of trying to add or take some of the classic story arcs and fight scenes from the manga over the years, this is a brand new story, as if it were a continuation of the manga's original serialization. So should be quite interesting for you Dragon Ball Z fans out there. So in 2015, yet another Dragon Ball Z movie. Makes me really wonder just how powerful Goku can actually get. It is what it is. Let's talk Studio Ghibli, shall we? I do have to say that they have a lot of great stuff coming down the pipeline I'm really looking forward to. Let's talk about this real quick. Their next movie, when Marnie was there, this is coming out later on this year, and I do have to say it's very nice of Studio Ghibli to come out and release the official theatrical trailer that was just like a week ago. So let's check it out. So this is being released in Japanese theaters in just like a week from now. The film does adapt a classic English children's novel of the same name. It is being directed by Hiromasa Yonebayashi, which is the same. He also directed The Secret World of Arrietty, which I really enjoyed that movie. There were a couple things that were changed for this adaptation. For one, this setting was shifted from Great Britain to a Japanese on the shores of Hokkaido. Well, I can't blame them for that. That means what they know. The other thing is that you were hearing the theme song in the background, but it was all in English, and that is actually due to the theme song is actually written and performed by an American musical artist named Priscilla Ahn. This is the first time that Studio Ghibli had their theme song performed entirely in English. I'm really looking forward to this. I cannot wait for it to make its way stateside, which we know it's going to happen. It's just a matter of when, basically. We just have to wait and see what happens with that. Some other news for you fans out there, especially if you enjoy the music, because let's face it, Joe Hisaishi is a genius at making some very moving orchestral scores. And thankfully, over from Apple Land, On iTunes, you'll actually be able to very recently, I think probably next week, or even earlier than that, a number of the Studio Ghibli movie soundtracks will be available on iTunes. Each soundtrack will be about $10 each, but we're looking at The Tale of Princess Kaguya, Howl's Moving Castle, Spirited Away, My Neighbor Totoro, Nausicaa, The Valley of the Wind, Castle in the Sky, Kiki's Delivery Service, Ponyo on the Cliff, the Sea, Princess Mononoke, and Porco Rosso. How awesome is that? So, yeah. Most recently, you had like the Wind Rises soundtrack that was available, I think, in January on iTunes, also for $10. There's a couple other instrumental bits out there, but these are the official soundtracks now available on iTunes. How amazing. I thought it was like in a week from now. They're actually available right now. So if you bought all of them right now, you're like at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You're easily over $100 already if you want to buy all of these. Like Nightstar says in the chat, time to go broke. You want to pick up your favorites out there right now if you have an iOS device. I may pick up a few come next payday. Finally, from the semi from the world of Ghibli, we're gonna talk about the latest project from Goro Miyazaki, Hayao Miyazaki's son. Goro worked on Tales from Earthsea and from Up on Poppy Hill, and has a new project in the works right now, and it's a brand new TV series. It's all in CG, the anime-styled CG, but CG nonetheless. It's their adaptation of Ronia, the Robber's Daughter, and we have a little peek at it. Check it out. So yeah, just a quick look at what to expect. It starts airing in Japanese TV this October, I believe, on the NHK and BS Premium. Polygon Pictures, which worked on the most recent from this past season, Knights of Sidonia, and past that, The Skycrawlers, is collaborating with Studio Ghibli to work on the 3D CG aspect of this. The story of what this revolves around Ronia, the only daughter of Mattis, who is the chief of the tribe of bandits who live in a large castle in the forest. Ronia studies the ways of mysterious creatures who live in the forest. It's mainly for children, but it's a Studio Ghibli title, at least partially, so you know a lot of people are going to be having high hopes for this. But given Goro's track record, Tales from Earthsea, let's face it, no one really wants to watch that. From Up on Poppy Hill kind of redeemed him a little bit, but with his father essentially retired, although it's been reported that he spends every day of his retirement tutoring and mentoring the younger artists at Studio Ghibli. It's like, did you really retire then? But yeah, we'll see if Goro can redeem himself with this children's series. Alright, so there was this poll that was online about what's the best anime to watch, the best anime series to watch on your day off of work, day after school, whatever. You want to kick back in your pajamas, grab your favorite beverage, and just watch something, just for the hell of it. It looks like after the survey was completed and the results were tallied, that the number one series for both male and female in Japan is actually Space Brothers. And I don't blame them. That's actually a very enjoyable series. But this is a series that just loves to take its time. 70 plus episodes. And there's a lot of stuff that does happen, but then again, there's also a hell of a lot of story to cover. So, I do have to say, though, that if I had a day off, which I have no idea what that is, I would probably want to watch a series that, while thoroughly enjoyable, is also one that I could finish in that day. I have to say, number 2 for both male and females was Attack on Titan, and then it starts splitting off. For males, 3, 4, and 5 were Ghost in the Shell, Madoka, and Toshokan Senso. For females, 3, 4, and 5 were Natsume's Book of Friends, Toshokan Senso, and Silver Spoon. I really like Silver Spoon. That's very tempting to throw that into the pile. Although I do have to say, for my favorite, like day off, I just want to sit there and watch something. Has to be Ghost in the Shell standalone complex. Pick a season, 1 or 2, does not matter, and that's it for me. I'd say Silver Spoon as well. I'm sure there's a few other series I can possibly think of. Definitely K-On! I would definitely enjoy checking that one out. But it's all up to you guys. I mean, if you guys have your thoughts on this, put it in the chat. Hit me up on Facebook. Hit me on Twitter, OtakuLife Jason. And we'll just keep the pattern going. Maybe we'll set up like a top 10 list for everyone on there starting next week. So we'll check that one out. Moving on to Guillermo Del Toro. He made waves recently talking about a sequel has been greenlit for Pacific Rim 2. Okay, why are we talking about this on AniBreak? It's not really an animated series. Well, if you guys remember from when we talked about it on From My Mother's Basement, aside from the movie sequel, he's going to be working on an animated series to tie into it. Okay, cool, I can go with this. The best part about this is that Del Toro is actually currently shopping the series out to Japanese animation companies. I think that's kind of nice. Could we get a Pacific Rim anime out of this? That would be pretty freaking cool. Although I do have to say this little bit that in a recent interview he was just talking about his love of anime and Japanese stories and whatnot, and it basically turns out what he would love to do if he had the chance. He was basically asked what movie would he be interested in adapting, and he said of all the series out there, Gantz. Could you imagine this semi-ultra gore fest in the hands of Del Toro? I could easily see this happen. I mean, given everything that the man has done in the past, to have a work like this, I think actually works fantastic for an adaptation in his mind. I can only imagine what he can think of doing. But here's the thing, though. This was just, if he had the chance, he had the time, he had the money, he would love to do Gantz. This is in no way, shape, or form a confirmation that he will do a Gantz adaptation. But I just wanted to bring this up for the sole fact of, just think of the possibilities of this. That could be pretty amazing. All right. Before we wrap things up, I know it's going to be a fairly short episode. I want to talk about just a couple figures that caught my attention. We all know that Kankale is slowly but surely taking over the whole world. At least the otaku world, that is. And a number of figures have already been not only released, and some larger ones are pre-ordered. And I do have to say, this latest pre-order has me like, wow, it's actually quite impressive. This is for the aircraft carrier Woe class, and it's definitely a very striking design, I must say. Considering most of the girls in Kankale are usually cute girls in cute outfits with some aircraft parts or aircraft carrier parts attached to them. Things happen like that in anime. But yeah, the Woe class, no, this is not your cute and cuddly, although there are some aspects to it I guess could be cute. I don't know about cuddly though. But yeah, I can only imagine if someone wanted to try to throw this onto a Dakimakura. I don't think you would want to cuddle with something like this though. But the detail is pretty amazing. It's 1/8 scale. It is currently available for pre-order, like I said. Its current release date is scheduled for February of 2015. But she is a bit on the pricey side. She's looking at 12,778 yen. You're looking at about $130 before shipping. So yeah, if you're a hardcore fan of Kankale and you're not dissuaded by the style, You can definitely go to your favorite websites like AmiAmi, Hobby Search, etc., and go ahead and pre-order her. A little lighter, coming from Mega House. If you enjoy Space Dandy, you can actually pre-order both Space Dandy and Honey. I kind of not surprised at all that Honey is actually going to be a figure. Space Dandy, I gotta say the detail is, let's say, less detailed than, say, that WoW-class aircraft character from Conclave we just talked about a moment ago. But honestly, I think it works well. It has the visual style for it. It the feel of both characters, I think, actually works just fine. There, I have to say though that even though they both come out with extras for them to hold and different faces, you have alternate faces you can use. You are going to pay a bit for these good looks. Dandy is going to retail for about 9,000 yen, about $90. Honey is going to be a little more expensive, just not by much. I guess they're going to measure by the silicone, at 9,250 yen, so about $93 US. You can pre-order both of these right now, and like I said, you can go to HobbyLink, Hobby Search, JList, AmiAmi, CD Japan, etc., and go ahead and pre-order these to your liking. Well, that is going to be, I think it's going to be it for this episode. A little on the short side, then again, news was a little light this week. We go with the flow. You know how the things work. I do want to thank you guys so much for hanging out as always on this episode. If you're watching live, we'll be up on YouTube soon, and if you're watching this on YouTube now, you can watch the uncut version, complete with all the trailers and videos, over on our website, AniBreak.com. You can always follow me over on Facebook and Twitter. I think even Google Plus if you search for it. OtakuLife Jason. And but yeah, stay tuned for post show. Start getting your moments of zen in the chat. And yeah, for AniBreak, I'm Jason. We'll see you guys next week. Take it easy, everybody.